In this video, I'm going to be showing you on how to invert your gauge cluster from a white background with black numbers to a black background with white numbers. That was kind of a tongue twister. Now let me show you the things that you need to do to get started. So first things first, we're going to have to remove the headlight. To remove it is going to be a 10mm socket, and there's going to be 4 bolts, one on each side. So top over here and then over here at the bottom. So go ahead and remove that, and just note that the longer bolts are going to be at the bottom and the shorter ones are going to be over here on the top. But before we go ahead and remove the headlight, you're going to want to get a nice soft towel. Now the reason for the towel is because the headlight is obviously still going to be attached, and we don't want the front lens to get scratched with the front fender here. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this towel right underneath here. So when we take the headlight out, it's going to rest right here on top of the soft towel, and the lens will not get scratched. Okay, now that we got all of the screws removed, now we're going to go ahead and remove the headlights. And again, you want to make sure that you are gentle on putting it onto the towel that's right here. So you're going to go ahead and grab the tops. I'm just going to kind of pull them out a little bit. Same thing with the bottom if we need to. And in this case, we don't really have to. All right, so now that we got this down, go ahead and just kind of put it gently right here. All right, so there we go. Now that we got the headlight down, now we're going to concentrate with removing the gauge cluster, which is right here. All right, decided to go mobile on this one, as I do have to show the camera or the gauge cluster upside down over here. And as you can see, in order to remove the gauge cluster, it's going to be with 3 screws right there. So you got 1 screw here, 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be with a Phillips screwdriver. Once you go ahead and do that, then for me, I have zip ties. So if you happen to have zip ties, you're going to have to cut the zip ties. I have one right here holding the cable. Oh, sorry. One right here holding the cable. Here's the main cable. I have another one right here. So if you guys happen to have the same, go ahead and clip the zip ties so you could actually free the gauge cluster cable. And then for me, and if you happen to have done that video, I've installed a, I would say, kind of a voltage indicator meter. So I have it tapped into this cable here. So you're going to have to undo it. And then just, for the new cable, just tap into the same ones that you've already tapped into. And if you did not do that video, then you have nothing there to connect. So you could just skip that part. So let's go ahead and get it removed. Okay, once you get all the screws from up there removed, next we have to unplug it from the main part of the bike. So it's just pretty much a little clip right here. Just push it down and unplug it. There you go, unplugged. Now it's okay to remove the whole gauge cluster. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you, when you're putting the new cable or the new gauge cluster in, that you route it the same way that you took it out. As you can see, the cable kind of goes through this hole and comes out through the bottom. All right, so now that we got our gauge cluster out of the bike, now we need to remove the plastic cover to get access to the inside. So to do so, we're gonna have to remove a few more screws, which can be with a Phillips screwdriver. Be one right over here, this one, because we need to get the cable, not the cable out, but this is being secured through this plastic. So since we're gonna be removing the plastic, but the rest of it's gonna stay in, that's why we need to remove that little screw there. And then the screw over here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove all that. You can do the same. Okay, now that we have all those screws removed, you can go ahead and remove the plastic. Let's go ahead and separate it like so. Let's get this cable through here. Put that off to the side for now. So now we need to have more screws removed, because we do need to separate, to get in here, like I said. So now that we have that part removed, now we're going to go ahead and remove a few more screws, which is going to be 4 right here in each corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, Phillips screwdriver. Let's go ahead and remove those as well. All right, now that we got those 4 screws removed, now we can go ahead and separate the halves here. There we go. Again, let's get that cable through the hole. And that's why we needed to remove that screw that was holding the cable in place. So now that we got that off, go ahead and put it off to the side. Now, lastly, we still have more screws to remove. There are 4 more on each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Phillips screwdriver again, and those will be the final screws, and then we'll have access to this part here. All right, so now that we got those 4 screws removed, you can go ahead and grab this lightly, and there we go. Here is our LCD screen. And then on this side, it's just pretty much the plastic, as you can see there. If you happen to have some dust like I do, you could just go ahead and blow it out. Now, you can't see it, but there is a film on the screen to actually show you the numbers. So what we're going to do is we are going to carefully remove that filter screen, and you're going to want to get yourself either an X-Acto blade or one of these kind of blades to actually get the edge and start peeling it off. So I'm going to go ahead and do this in real time for you guys. I'm going to do a time lapse of me removing it. But before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and start getting the corner. So any corner will do, the top, the bottom, whatever. Just make sure that you're very careful with the glass. You definitely don't want to damage it, because if you damage it, well, guess what? You're going to have to buy a brand new gauge cluster. So we're going to grab our blade, and we are going to go to a corner of the lens, or the screen. And we're trying to get to, you could actually feel it. So want to get the blade to get in contact with the film. So once you get the film away from the LCD screen, just like I said, go carefully on it, because there we go. All right, so you can see I already got it right here. Not sure you could see that, but I'm going to try to pull away from it a little bit more. And you want to go carefully. Take your time in this department, because if you, like I said, if you damage this, you're going to have to buy a brand new, pretty much whole gauge cluster. So let me show you real close up. So you can see, let me grab the blade again. But you can already see that corner is already coming out. So let me get my blade and put it on there so you guys could see that I'm actually pulling it. So I got it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it. There you go, right there. You can see I'm already grabbing it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start peeling it off of the screen. Like I said, carefully and slowly. So I'm going to do a time lapse right now, so that way you guys could see me that I'm actually, you know, pulling it out and not doing some funny business. Alrighty guys, as you can see, I already finally removed the film under. It was very tricky because I definitely didn't want to damage the screen. So now you can see here is the original polarizer film that was on it. And now let me go ahead and turn the screen. So this is what allows you to see the numbers. Without this, it looks invincible. Well, it is invincible, really. Here's a small little polarizer film that I have, which we're not going to be using this one. We're going to be using another one because obviously this is not going to really fit because the corner has been chopped off. But you can see when I put it on in front of the screen, it's dark. If I rotate it, it gets lighter to pretty much clear how it was before. Alrighty guys, so now that we have this already with the film off, we want to make sure that we have the right angle on the bike. So instead of just plugging this directly to the bike, we are going to put everything back in its place. So that way when we put it on the bike, you know, we'll have the right angle and everything for putting the polarizer and, you know, turning it to get the optimal darkness and everything the way we want it. Alright, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of testing before I showed you guys. So pretty much we're going to kind of put our screen back on this board. Now this board was inside this cover, so it was pretty much in like this. Go ahead and put that back in there. So it's like this. So what we're going to do is going to put the board back on there with just 2 screws. We don't need the whole thing. So 1 screw here, 1 screw here, or whichever, it doesn't matter. But we are going to remove this backing from the rest of the plastic. And that's with 4 screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you remove those 2, it'll pop this guy out. Now the reason for this is because if we were to leave the cover and, you know, put it all like this on the bike, let's go mobile real quick. So you can see I have all the plastic, but if I were to put the polarizer, you could see on how messed up it is, and that's definitely not going to give us an accurate reading when we're, you know, moving the screen around. Look, it's giving you all kinds of different colors. We definitely don't want that. So that'll totally mess everything up. So, and as I'm guessing there's something going on with the screen over here. Even if I remove my my screen protector, it still gives me that weird look. So we want to make sure we have an accurate thing. So as you can see, like this is super accurate. That's what we want. All right, so next we are going to put this piece back in here. All right, so now that we have this part on there, we're going to notice that the notches or the curvature of the plastic is going to correspond with the inside of this gauge cluster piece. So let me just go ahead and pull this cable in a little bit so it can sit a little bit more flush with how we want it to be. There we go. All right, so now you can see it's a little bit more flush, and that's what we're going to put this part onto the bike, and then we'll be able to put our polarizer film over it and get a more accurate reading. So let's go over to the bike and let me put this back on, kind of not completely back on, but enough where, you know, it'll be the right angle. All right, we're over at the bike. Here is the gauge club. I'm holding it with my finger so it doesn't fall out of there. We don't want this lens at all to get scratched, because that'd be bad news. Definitely gonna have to replace the whole screen for sure. All right, so we are going to route the cable in through here. So let me go ahead and do that. Just poke it in through there because we're gonna have to connect it. And we wanna make sure that the little pegs actually correspond with the grommets where they're gonna actually go into. Okay, so I'm gonna slide that through. Make sure you're holding always the screen in place. All right, so it's already set. After that, we are going to go ahead and plug in our connector right here to the plug right there. All right, now we're over at the bike. I turned off all the lights so you can see the gauge cluster a little bit better. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key. As you can see, don't be alarmed. There's actually numbers there. You just can't see it because the polarizer is not there. So now we have our polarizer film right here. And as you can see, as soon as I put it over the gauge cluster, you can see the numbers. How cool is that? It's like invincible. So if you were to get polarizing sunglasses, you could actually leave it like that and only you will be able to see the numbers. Okay, so as you can see, this is original how it used to be. In a white background with the black numbers, but as you rotate the polarizer, now you're gonna see it shift. Kind of going invincible there. All right, and the more you turn it, the more darker now it's gonna get. Oh, that's gonna look so good. Now check it out, guys. Now it's a black background with the white numbers. Alrighty, so at this point, you wanna, you know, maybe turn on the light so you could actually see. Grab your marker, sit on the bike, and then, you know, turn the polarizer to the optimal, you know, darkness that you would want. You want to make sure that you have it dark enough where the background is dark, but it doesn't, like, you know, show too much all the like the little indicators, you know, because right now I'll show you what I mean. All right, so I have it pretty dark about right there, right? But if I turn it just a slight bit, now you could see the little indicator like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, the turn signals, all the other indicators on that side, and you definitely don't want that. So again, sit on your bike and keep on doing it until you find the right shade of darkness that you would prefer. Then once you do that, go ahead, place it over it, and then grab your marker and then just trace an outline. That way you know exactly where to cut on yours. Okay, now that I have properly already marked my film, as you can see right there, kind of hard to see, but you can see the square marking. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So you want to make sure that you cut just a little bit out, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I cut enough where it's going to be only on the gauge cluster itself. So let me go ahead and pop this plastic piece off, and then we are going to remove it. Let me go ahead and take this apart completely. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this from the board, or from the board from the plastic. Luckily we only did 2 screws because then we'll be taking off too many screws. All right, remove the board, there we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this, and I want to make sure that I have enough that's going to cover the screen, and I do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and on this particular film there's actually a stickiness to it, so when we do it we want to make sure that the screen itself is super clean, free of any dust, so when we put this on there it's going to be a nice good seal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys do the same, and then I'll show you before I apply this onto the screen. Okay, now that I've already cut my polarizing film, as you could see right here. Now next we're gonna, like I said, we need to clean this screen. Obviously I was working in a dusty environment, so it's actually dusty. Now if you guys have a cloth like this, normally given to you when you get the sunglasses, or if you have eyeglasses, something like this would be best to use to clean because it's not gonna leave any scratches. So I can already see I got some, you know, dust on there, so I'm just gonna do my best on, you know, cleaning it off, trying to minimize contact with this because like I said, you don't want this screen to be scratched. All right, so now that that is clean, now we're gonna go ahead and grab our polarizer. Now there is 2 spots to this, not spots, but very clear film that's over it. And like I said, it is a sticky side. So the sticky side is on this side. The clear film to take out is on this side. So just grab a blade, or if you have fingernails, just go ahead and peel it. But I'm gonna peel the sticky side first so that way I could stick it on there. So I'm gonna do this just a little bit so I can show you guys, and then you guys do it. So here you go, I'm already peeling it. I'm not sure you could see that. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I don't want to have it this way and film a piece of dust falls on it, and then I stick it on there and it's gonna kind of ruin it. So I'm gonna do this off camera. You guys do the same. After you're done putting this, I just grab the other end and peel the clear part off of it so that it could be nice and shiny. All right, as you can see, I already put the film on there. Now you may come across some air bubbles. If you do, just go ahead and kind of press them out. Now do everything before you actually clear that film out, because once you clear it, and if you happen to wipe it and you get a scratch, it's going to be there forever unless you do this process all over again. So do any modifications you need to do right now before peeling it. So again, air bubbles, just go ahead and squeeze those out off to the edge. Now before I remove this film part, I wanted to show you guys something in case you guys wanted to do this as well, as right now would be the good time to do it. And in case you have watched my other video, if not, I'll have a little link up here about that video. And what that is going to be, it's going to be adding different types of filters. Now obviously we already blacked out the back screen. Now the number is going to be white, but say you want to add a little color, and if, like I said, there's another video I have that I show you how to change the color of your gauge cluster, and that's with these filters. So here's a red filter, and you could actually put it over this. Now your numbers are going to be whatever filter color that is. And if you guys would like to see a video of the process on how to do this with the inverted gauge cluster, as you can see, I got a lot of film colors here. So like I said, you want to see a process of me doing so, please leave a comment down below, and maybe once I hit 20 comments below asking for me to do this, I will do a video about it. Now let's go ahead and put everything back, and that's going to be with the 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and put all those screws back in. Okay, now that we got those 4 screws in, now let's go ahead and put this cover back on, feed the cable through there, and then we're just going to snap this in place, and then there'll be 4 screws as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing goes here in the middle. Okay, now that we're done with that cover, lastly, it's going to be this back cover. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in as well. And it's only going to be 3 screws for this one. So it'll be 1, 2, and 3. And then last but not least, it's going to be for this small bracket right here. So there's going to be a screw right here for this bracket. So let's go ahead and put the screw there, put the bracket there, and tighten it down. All right, we're at the bike. Let's go ahead, grab our connector. We're going to put it right through the hole over here. So push that in there. Posi taps, bring it down over here. Then we're going to go ahead and rest the new gauge cluster. Make sure that everything is lined up on its correcting parts where we're going to screw in the screws. And grab our plug over here. Grab where we unplugged it from. And just go ahead and connect it. Very simple. You don't have to really, do anything differently because it's all the same. Okay. Once it's in there, make sure it's on there securely. And then for our leads here, we go ahead and unscrew the red part just a little bit. You have to take it out all the way. And then get our red cable. Again, this is only for the battery indicator if you've done that installation. Okay. Once you put it in there, you go ahead and screw that in nice and tight, and then just give the cable just a small tug. Make sure that it's on there secure. If it doesn't come out, then you're good to go. Same thing with the green one. Unscrew it just a little bit. The black cable, put it in there, and then just screw that down. Give it a little tug. It shouldn't come out. If it does, redo it all over again. All right, so everything is already on there. And the last thing, you could put the 3 screws, one here, middle, and then over there, and we're all good to go. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and turn the key. And look at that, guys. Looks so good. Alright guys, well that pretty much concludes the video. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with the latest videos and installations. If you know anyone else that has an E-Vader, please share my video, as this helps me out. And it also helps the algorithm, and also gets the word out about being able to do a modification like this that others may not know about. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.